Hello, well, good morning, everybody. Hi, I know we've got a few who've joined us, and hopefully we should get a few more rolling in as soon as they refresh their coffees. So hello and welcome. We are really glad to have you with us today. My name is Helen Bosman. I'm the Association Executive at OKCMAR, and today we're going to be talking about social media. And we know realtors love that. This is your favoriteest thing in the whole world. So we're going to be learning lots of new stuff today. We are going to have Kate Lawton from NAR. She's going to be talking about the serious side of social media. And then we're going to have Beth Z talk about the fun side of social media. So we have got a great contrast today for you. And we are so excited to have everyone here with us. I just want to take advantage of the microphone, if you will, and remind you that we are doing a diaper drive for the benefit of infant crisis services. So if you would run by a box of diapers before Monday, that would be fabulous. The brokerage that brings us the most diapers, we're providing a pizza party. I have to tell you, we put a $500 cap on this in case you have a huge office. So take advantage of us buying you free pizza, bring us diapers, and everyone wins. We also have the both boards, MLS OK and OKCMAR, have their elections coming up. We're going to be sending out the links to vote on August 31st, and we will be announcing the winners on September the 8th. So get in there. Everyone's done a video, so you can watch their videos and read their bios and see who you would trust with your association. Big choices coming up. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce Kate Lawton to you. We're going to start with Kate from NAR, and then we'll transition over to Beth Z. So thank you so much for bearing with us. Hello, Kate.
Hi, Helen. How are you?
I am doing great today. Thank you.
Good.
Yes, so Kate, we're so grateful to have you with us. Kate Lawton is the Vice President of Member Experience for NAR. I like that, member experience, that sounds pretty cool. And so she is committed to building the success and engagement of realtors by listening, understanding their needs, and delivering the best possible member experience through member support, professional standards, governance, and all your programs. So that's quite a big job right there, I think, Kate. I hope you've got lots of people working with you. So it looks like you've been with NAR for 12 years.
That's correct, yes.
Wow. Okay, so have you seen some changes since you've been there?
We have. I think as with anyone, with over the past 2 years, definitely have seen the most in terms of our association. But yeah, it's definitely been a wonderful road being with realtors all day.
Yes. You know, and since we're going to be talking about, well, you're going to be talking about social media, so I should imagine you've seen some changes there over the last 12 years. So, and specifically in the last year or so, you know, with COVID, I can't even remember what month we're in. So I know NAR put through some changes on hate speech and social media. So generally, you're not in favor of it. I think that's the short version of that. And I know you're going to be digging into some more there. And so currently you're living in Chicago, the NAR building.
I am, yes.
So is Chicago, how is Chicago? Is it is everyone getting back to getting out, getting shopping?
It is definitely a little bit busier than it was before. You know, everybody's still wearing their masks and everything. They just instituted a mask mandate indoors again because cases are going up. But you know, it's always gorgeous in summer in Chicago. So it's wonderful. It's the reason why we deal with the winter is that we get this beautiful summer. So
that's right. Yeah, you guys get some crazy weather too, right?
We do. Not as many tornadoes as you all do get, but we do get the bad winters.
You do. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Kate, and I'm going to let you lead us into your prepared notes and tell us all about it. So thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate getting the opportunity to see you all. Definitely, we have seen a lot of changes in social media in terms of the bad side of things since I've been working at NAR. And I'll tell you that normally, pre-2020, I would probably receive maybe 1 to 3 complaints about something really terribly egregious that someone had posted on social media or had done each year. It was a very, very small number. So we did have a mechanism in your local association's bylaws that allowed the association to take action, take disciplinary action against a realtor if something like this happened. But it was so rare that we didn't really see it that much, didn't really find a flaw in our process that we had to deal with it. And then unfortunately, fast forward to 2020, after George Floyd's murder, we did see a really huge increase in the amount of complaints about discriminatory speech and conduct on social media from not only our local and state associations, but then also reported to us at the NAR level. So what we did at that point is engage the Professional Standards Committee at NAR on what, if anything, should be done about this type of discriminatory speech and conduct. They ultimately ended up putting together a package of recommendations that was presented to the board of directors in November of 2020. I can tell you it was very vigorously debated. We have a website called The Hub that's used for our National Association Governance Communications. And there were a lot of conversations about it on there, a lot of people debating whether an amendment to the code was really the right way to go, or if there was a different way to deal with this sort of behavior. Of course, everyone was despising when these things happened, and the speech and the conduct that was happening was really just, how do we go about best dealing with it? So the board of directors did ultimately end up approving a package of recommendations to address this type of speech and conduct in the Code of Ethics. So it fell into broadly 3 buckets. The first bucket is that we adopted a new standard of practice under Article 10. Now, I'm sure you all know that Article 10 is basically our fair housing article in the Code of Ethics. It prohibits realtors from denying equal professional services to anyone on the basis of their membership in our protected classes. So the broad principle behind Article 10 is basically don't discriminate against anyone based on their membership in a protected class. So this new standard of practice that's under Article 10 says that realtors shall not use hate speech, harassing speech, epithets, or slurs against any of the members of those protected classes under Article 10. And we adopted a series of companion resources that talked about how we define hate speech and harassing speech. We have since then adopted some case interpretations that lay out some factual scenarios that are kind of what we're contemplating when we're looking at standard of practice 10-5. The second bucket of recommendations that the board of directors approved had to do with the applicability of the Code of Ethics. There's a policy statement that you've probably never seen because it's all buried in the manual, but what it used to say is that the code only applied to real estate related activities and transactions involving a realtor. That policy statement was expanded to say that the Code of Ethics now applies to all a realtor's activities. Now, what I'll say is that when it comes to the Code of Ethics, if you look at each of the articles, most of them are specific to real estate related activities just by the very nature of how they are written. So there's only two articles underneath the code that this policy statement really expanded the applicability of the code to, and one of those was Article 10. Because when we were seeing all of this hate speech on social media, oftentimes it was occurring on a realtor's personal social media page, one that consumers could still see, that unfortunately oftentimes news media could still see, but it wasn't necessarily applicable or subject to the code previously because it was their personal page. So we expanded the code for Article 10 and the entire Code of Ethics to be applicable to all of realtors' activities. The third bucket is a little bit technical, so I'll just go over it really briefly. I don't want to be boring. So the third bucket is a recommendation that expanded the way we report Code of Ethics violations to your state real estate commission. And there's a series of circumstances in which we report Code of Ethics violations. Your local association reports those to the real estate commission. We expanded those to include any discrimination against the protected classes under Article 10. So anytime there's a Code of Ethics violation that says that you've discriminated against one of the protected classes under Article 10, that gets reported to the real estate commission per the local association's rules. So those have been in place since November of 2020. They were effective immediately. We then did a number of training sessions, and I'm going to drop a link in the chat here when I'm done here with links to those training sessions. If you'd like to dig in more on any of those topics and kind of learn a little bit more about what we mean by those, we have some really wonderful resources for you. We have all of these training sessions. We have a website. We have all sorts of additional info on those specific changes. So I definitely want you to be aware of those in case you do ever come across something on social media that you think rises to that level, then that is definitely an avenue for you. Now, on the sort of companion piece, you're not going to see hate speech that often. I mean, it's really egregious stuff that we're talking about under Standard of Practice 10-5. So we really hope that you're not going to see that as often as you might see conduct or speech that is maybe verging on the edge of inappropriate. And you're thinking, you know what? Oh, it just doesn't make me feel right, but it's not necessarily what I might think of as hate speech. So that's kind of a different situation. And it's one that we don't really have NAR policy specifically on, but it is something that you are going to encounter quite a bit. So whenever you're seeing that sort of speech, or if you're ever thinking to yourself, you know, I might want to respond to something and it's really got my blood boiling and I want to say something, but it might possibly come off the wrong way. What I'd like to remind you all, and I'm sure you all know this because you're realtors and you are the world's best marketing people. You are amazing at marketing yourselves. And so the consequence of that is that consumers are looking at your actions and saying, whether that's in your personal page or your business page or anywhere, they're saying this is a reflection of who this person might be in their business. They're looking at your entire online package as reflective of who you are and what you stand for. And so if you're putting statements out there that could verge on the edge of offending your potential consumers, that's really a detriment to your business. That's something where your business can potentially suffer because you may have, you know, inadvertently, I'm sure, but you may have alienated some of your consumers that may want to work with you in the future. So anytime you're looking at your overall social media presence, I would encourage you, you know, absolutely, there might be things that you really passionately feel that you would like to put out there, but just always take a step back and take a breath and think, you know what, if I'm a consumer, if I'm someone that doesn't necessarily know me or have a previous relationship with me, what am I going to think when I see this post? What am I going to think that this person stands for and that I really believe in? And is that an accurate reflection of who I really am as a well-rounded person? So again, just taking that step back, and then also, you know, gut check with another person, gut check with a colleague or your broker or something. You know, if you are wanting to post something and you think, I just don't know if this is going to come across the right way, then to absolutely check in with someone else and say, hey, do you think this could be offensive? Because I really don't want to have that reflect badly on our brokerage or on my company, you know, in the consumers in the community that we serve. So having a gut check, always a really great thing. And then if you see content on social media that you think is offensive and is potentially detrimental to not only the realtor brand, but to maybe the company of the person that's posting it, always, you know, reach out to maybe your broker, let them know what you saw, say, you know, I think this could be really bad. They could possibly have a conversation with that other agent or the other agent's broker and say, you know, this could really be damaging for all of us, you know, in the eyes of consumers, because consumers are definitely seeing that if you're taking that realtor name, that's really reflective of everyone in your community that's a realtor. So definitely, if you see those situations, I mean, if you feel comfortable talking to the person about it directly, that's absolutely a great avenue too. You feel comfortable saying, you know what, I just want to make you aware that this could potentially be really offensive, then that's always an option too. But, you know, getting your broker involved in the conversation, just to make sure that it's really respectful on both sides is a really, really great idea too, because, you know, again, all those consumers are looking at all of the realtors in your community and saying that the actions of one could really reflect all of them and what values we all have. And we definitely want to protect that because you all are so committed to the professionalism of your industry that we don't want to have one bad actor or one bad statement by a bad actor reflect on all of the good work that you all are doing in your communities. So that is my kind of spiel. I would love to answer any sort of questions that you have, because I'm sure that Unfortunately, any group that I talk to, and I've talked to a lot of different groups of members over the past year or so about these recommendations, and unfortunately, I do normally have at least one in each group that has seen something like this. So if you have any questions, or if you have any experiences that you'd just like to share, that maybe if you experienced something like this, how you handled it, that you'd like to share with your colleagues, that would be great as well.
Yeah, jump on in. We definitely want to hear some feedback from you guys. I know someone's got a question. Kate, maybe you could share your email address if you wouldn't mind, and maybe they could send something to you afterwards, because, of course, what you're talking about is a sensitive topic, and, maybe they don't feel comfortable sharing it with everyone, but they would love to share it with you privately.
Absolutely.
You're like a doctor.
I'm so happy to. I'll put it in the chat here. I've got a couple links that I'm going to share for you. If you do have additional questions, I'll put them in the chat, and then also I'll put my email in there if you do have any questions. I'll tell you one very, very common question I get, especially again over the last year. One very common question I get is, does the new standard of practice apply to political speech? Because we've seen a lot of very divisive political speech, of course, on either side in the past year or so, even longer. It does not. Political affiliation is not a protected class under Article 10 of the Code of Ethics. So the provisions on hate speech do not apply to speech that may be directed at someone based on their political affiliation. That being said, again, try to take a step back and look at how consumers might look at a statement that you make against someone on the basis of political affiliation. It still may be very offensive to someone who is a Democrat or a Republican in your community if you're making disparaging and derogatory statements about Democrats or Republicans. So definitely take a step back, say, gut check, what is a consumer going to think if I post this? And then, decide accordingly what you do from there. Another question I get a lot is, what if someone makes a derogatory statement on my social media platform? Let's say I post a picture or something, and someone just goes way off the rails and posts a really inappropriate comment. Could I be found, guilty of a code for that speech based on that other person? The answer is no. It needs to be the actual realtor's comments. But again, if you leave that kind of comment on your social media profile and consumers see that, they might interpret you leaving it there as you condoning the statement. So while you may not be found in violation of the code, it could still, again, be very damaging to your business if you do leave that statement up there, because a reasonable person could say, well, if they really objected to what that person said, they would have removed it by now. So that sort of, association with those negative comments on your profile can definitely be damaging to your business as well. All right, the last thing I will add, and please feel free to reach out to me if you do have any other questions. I'm happy to chat. But the last thing I will add is just be very cognizant of the fact on your social media profiles, your engagement, that private groups are never actually as private as you might think that they are. I can't tell you how many complaints we got about hate speech from groups that were private. So anyone with a computer has the ability to screenshot something that you say in a private group. So just be very cognizant that if you wouldn't say it outright to a consumer, don't say it in a private group either, because they might end up seeing it anyway. So it's my last takeaway.
That is so true, Kate, because some of our members, there are closed Facebook groups, of course, in this area, and they'll be like, did you see it? And I'm like, I am not a member of that group, thank goodness. And they're like, but I'm sending you a screenshot. And I'm like, no, my eyes, no, I don't need to see that. So, but you're right, screenshots, no such thing as a closed group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. So, okay, we have very shy realtors with us today, very shy.
That's okay, that's okay. Yeah. Just email me if you have any other questions. I'm super happy to elaborate or chat more if anyone wants to. So I'll drop some links in the chat and my email as well.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much. Will you be at Leadership Summit this weekend?
I will, yes.
Okay, well, we have Steve Reese on here somewhere. I just saw him. He is going to be up there in Chicago this weekend. So maybe we'll get to
Wonderful.
reach out and say hello.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Kate. Thank you. Okay, well, thanks everyone. Kate's going to put her email in the chat. Please do reach out to her. NAR have some really, really responsive staff. They do an amazing job with getting back to their members, getting back to us as an association. They are fabulous about that. Okay, so moving on, we have Beth Z, because no one can pronounce her last name. So, I mean, I have to give it a go now. She said that, right? So I think it's Beth Zeisness. Okay, I've totally butchered it, but I gave it a go, right, Beth? So we have had Beth come and talk to us before, but it's been a while. So we wanted to bring her back and talk about social media. I think that's probably perhaps you've been relying on that even more in the last year or so. You know, what keeps us apart brings us together and all that good stuff. So Beth says she started this with a Razr flip phone. So I know you've been doing it for a while. I didn't even know you could get apps on a flip phone. So I learned something today. And she is a proud self-confessed nerd. So she's going to be telling us more about this. And on all her work and research with all these apps, gadgets, widgets, I don't even know how you keep up with it. That is just incredible. There's so many, and how we can use this in your industry to get the best results. So Beth has spoken to over 100,000 people, she says on her bio. She counted them all personally. She had an app for that. And she's been on the best speaker list of several organizations. And so she's going to be here today giving us the update on 29 tech tools to create cool content for social media. So this is something that you guys really need. So we are very excited. Beth, take it away.
Oh, I have a big entrance. Hold on, let me get my, hold on, don't look, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for the applause. I appreciate it very much. Good morning for the next 6 minutes. OKC, this is Beth Z coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee. And first thing I want to do is see you. If you could, I can see if you're not putting on your face because I am watching. So put on your faces, show me in the gallery because that'll help me kind of get some feedback and know when, you know, it's like, or this one, right? Now I can see whether you're there or not. Couple of things. First off, I've got 75 different buttons here. I've got all kinds of things that I'm doing here and things go wrong. I know that's surprising, but if things go wrong in the chat, could you say, Beth, I'm with you no matter what. It's just awkward now. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. Now that you found the chat and we're in there, I want you, if you hear something you like, because we are going to go through so many things. If you hear something you like, I want you to go in the chat. So give me some O's in the chat if you hear something you like. And then if I happen to be funny, would you do me a favor and put exclamation points in there? Because I'm lonely. All right, that's the truth. Okay, so today we're going to be doing part of a session that I call Lights Smartphone Action. And this is all about ways to change. Let me see, I will put that back right there. Ways to change what you're doing with social media and marketing so that you can make use of all kinds of tools you have never heard of and you can do it very quickly. So the session that this is based on is actually a hands-on session that's about 3 hours long, but who has 3 hours, right? I did it. It's supposed to go, boom, I had a sound. It didn't work. Y'all said you would hang out anyway. All right. By the way, in the chat, make sure you're doing all to all people rather than just to me, although I really like just to me, but make sure you're telling everybody so we can all share some ideas and do some interactive things. If you are interested in following me and getting more handouts and different things, text the word nerd to 66866. And here we go. I've got so many different things. The first category I'm going to talk about are really it's really the easiest category. It's collages and video montages. And this is where you can just take a bunch of pictures and video clips, depending on which one, throw them into one of these templates and push a button. Now, there's one called Animoto. How many of y'all know Animoto? That's really came from the world of realtors. They've got even a category for real estate professionals. Anybody know Animoto? Anybody not going to raise your hand no matter what I ask? Yeah, all right. Sarah's like, that's me. So Animoto is one of those that I like, but here's one that's really interesting. You throw pieces in there and it uses artificial intelligence to find the highlights. Like I made this at an expo, it was a little while ago. It's called Majesto, and I made this at an expo. Again, you don't have to write all this stuff down. You get all the handouts. All right, you ready? I'm going to pause for a second before I go on and talk about this Zoom really quickly. And I'm going to do something that is going to scare the heck out of two people, but they need to be up here. Hold on just a second, because Vanessa and Ryan gave me the best smiles in our little square. They were laughing. They made me feel good. Some of you there's Brad smiling. Some of y'all, I know have a lot of things to do, but I looked and Ryan and Vanessa were like, oh, look at that, how fun. And then that made me happy. So thank y'all, everybody clap for them for not knowing they were going to be on screen. Vanessa's like, yeah, thank you. All right. So that was Majesto. And like I said, all I did was get what we call B-roll, right? A whole bunch of video that I had just taken at an event. I just threw it in there. I threw some pictures in there. And immediately what Majesto did was analyze that and take out the best parts to do a fun little video. They've got all kinds of templates. They do have a few free ones. I do pay for the upgrade. I think one of the things about this is they're all about, $100 and some odd to $250 a year. You don't have to do all of them, but sometimes you want to pick the ones you're going to use the most often. And this is one I use all the time, so I pay for the upgrade. That was Majesto. In this whole category of collages and montages, Animoto, I'm not going to show you the sample of right now, but that's another one, Animoto. You'll find it in some of those resources I've posted for you on that, from that link. So all of these rely on reusing, repurposing, and recycling things you have tons of. You have tons of pictures of homes, residential areas, events you've been to. You got a ton of them. You've posted one or two of them, and there's 75,000 more than nobody's ever seen, and nobody really saw the one or two. So this is great. You just throw them in these things, press a button, and you can get a video done. Now, this is an abbreviated version. I have until the 1 o'clock hour, 1 o'clock for everybody to be here. So I've got about not that much time left, 59 minutes left. So if you have questions, I want you to put them in all caps in the chat. So I'll make sure I connect with them. And we're going to be showing some things that just happened last week. So it'll be fun to play with this. Here's another example of Majesto. I'm not going to show a whole bunch of this, and I'm actually going to talk over it. I'm going to do something really fun real quick. We've got some noise that's happening, and I'm going to mute because everybody sounds so good, and except when they don't. There we go. Perfect. This is another one, and this was great. So when the shutdown started happening, I asked people to send in their pictures on social media. I just said, send me a picture of your furry coworker, because almost everybody had some kind of a furry pet at home, at the home office. Yes, y'all too? So I asked, and within a day, I had more than 100 pictures, and I took them and did this. So as you can see, not only did I take their pictures, but I used the captioning tool, putting on captions to add the pet's name and sometimes their name. Now, what are they going to do with this? They're going to share it. Y'all have posted boring video things and boring pictures a whole bunch of times. You have, I have, you have. But when I post things about other people, when I ask them for feedback and share and ask them, they're going to do it. And pets and children almost always get more likes than pictures of homes. That's a big surprise. So this really involved people and got a lot of great views. And again, this is a tool. Let me show it to you real quick. I'm just going to show you the structure. Hold on just a second. Let's see, I'm going to log in. So Majesto is just a structure where I can create a video. I just drag and drop pictures, and within a few minutes, I will have that. It is easy to connect it with Google Photos. These are some things I've already done. Here is thousands of hours of my cats playing together and some other things. And I'm just going to show you, actually, I'll do this and show you some people. And these were people that I talked to. I'm going to add that all to a video. It's uploading them. Like I said, I could put that text right there. I can click next. It already does the, by the way, people are nerding out in the chat. I love this Star Trek Voyager. Yep. If you're a nerd, check out the conversation in the chat. You can do auto. So it does it where it orients it where it thinks it would be most helpful. You can do auto for the duration because it'll show you what's most helpful and what it analyzes. And then you just pick a theme, click next, you pick a song, their recommendation, and click preview and name my masterpiece. It is OKC, not them, because it's not you. And I will click compose. Now we're going to come back to this in a few seconds and you'll see how easy it was. That was it. That was the whole process. The first draft may not be good, but we will come back. All right. Now let's talk about the next category. It's going to come up in just a second and make some noise. It's important for me to share this example with you because I realize you're looking at all this and saying, there is no way that woman was a nerd in high school. She probably worked with some kind of branding expert And she decided that she was going to call herself a nerd, but she's not really a nerd. And I wanted to show you that deep down, the nerd thing is real. Ladies and gentlemen, 7th grade. Oh, that got Kimmy just giggling. Yep. I think a couple of other people smiled, but I could be mistaken. Ryan is still giggling. Yeah. This is mall hair. I know, Sarah. Okay, and drink. And cheers. There we go. Aww. Yeah. That was it. That was the whole video that was made while I was just chatting away right here. Anybody like that one? Majesto. Ah, there we go. Kimmy, Ryan. I got a hands up and a thumbs up from Ryan. Ryan, you're my favorite. Y'all, the rest of y'all need to look and be my favorite. Vanessa is probably never going to be my favorite again because she doesn't want to be looked at anymore and go up on the screen. All right, so this was a funny picture, right? But watch what happens. Let me go back a second here. Watch what happens when I add what I call depth to it. And this is where we have mosaics. Each one of those little dots is a picture of something. It's actually a picture of people I've had in my presentations. What do people do with these kind of mosaics? They scroll in. They're like, how did she make it? What are those pictures? Is my picture in there? They're so interested in what is in that picture. So it becomes an interactive post rather than just a post. It really changes the dynamic. Now that one is called Easy Moza. This one, there's one called Picture Mosaics. So that one was a silly one and I highly recommend them. But this is one I did for my husband. He's a bankruptcy attorney and he specializes in student loans, helping people with student loans. So I did this one for his Facebook page instead of just a static header. Hold on just a second. Someone just asked a great question. It was Kimmy, and I made her laugh earlier. I appreciate it, Kimmy. She asked, do you add the words together after it puts the collage together or before? You can do it either. Sometimes I put it together and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back and add them. The dog one and the cat one, it took me quite a while because I had over 160 people send them. The video is like 7 or 8 minutes long, and I wanted to match up everybody. Most of the time, like we just did, it takes a couple of seconds. So that is a good connection with how long it takes. The picture mosaics, you can take those pictures and you can tell it which ones to focus on. So as you notice, the ones it focused on were the ones with the message about the student loan. And then it created the mosaic together. And this was picturemosaics.com. Listen, when you go on there, it's going to look like you have to pay a lot of money. They do have higher end things. You don't have to pay a lot of money. Just keep going, and then it'll give you a free one that you can share. And then it'll threaten you that it's this because it gives you this interactive one. And then it's like it's only up for whatever days, and it's always up there. It is fantastic. All right. Let's talk about these explainer videos. Now, y'all have seen explainer videos a lot. This is where they pop up, they explain something. It's like a whiteboard video, right? If you go to an organization who does these, you're going to pay $1,000 or more. So let's say you want to explain the process of a home inspection, or the process of what happens next. You can do these explainer videos and have them do that for you. So this site, let me just show you this sample first. This is audience participation. Ready? Now this one is called Powtoon. Powtoon is one I've been using for years. I'm calling it a classic animated video maker because it was really one of the original ones. And Powtoon is one that really helps run you through a template that'll help you make these things. They've got several free ones. They've got some higher level priced ones. I'll give you a tool in a minute that if you just need 2 or 3 of them, you don't have to buy the higher level stuff, because I've got some options for getting something very professional without having to subscribe. So Powtoon is fantastic for making those quick videos. There are a whole bunch of things though that we can use here. This is a secret weapon in the webinar area. Now, actually, I have a whole session on Zoom and all the new things you can do with Zoom. And this, what I'm doing here, is actually a third-party tool that's a little bit more advanced. But Prezi, how many of y'all know Prezi from way back in the day? Prezi is a PowerPoint equivalent that's pretty dang boring and a little bit nauseating. Prezi is where it's kind of like, instead of a PowerPoint with slides, you have a board and you zoom in on one part and then you zoom out. Y'all remember those? They kind of annoyed me and they made me a little nauseated. But Prezi during COVID released something called Prezi Video. And I cannot tell you how insanely awesome Prezi Video is for any type of online presentation. This is Prezi Video. Let me show it to you real quick on here. Oh, I got my audio. Can't really figure out how they got here today. My name is Beth Z, your nerdy best friend, and I have breaking news. Remember when I told you about Google Photos and how amazing it is? And I put it in my book and I said, it's going to be free. It's free forever and everybody loves it. I'll go ahead and just do that and let it play. So you're watching it, right? And what's happening is that all of the PowerPoints, all of the illustrations are over my face. They're sliding down. This is Prezi Video, and Prezi Video hooks into Zoom. I can't show you Prezi Video on top of what we're doing right now, because then all of my extra special tools start fighting with each other. But I could open up Prezi Video on my computer, have these kind of presentation overlays, and show that instead of the awkward, wait, let me, I'm going to show my screen. Can you see my screen? Where's my head? Like, y'all know that happens on almost every Zoom meeting, but Prezi Video embeds those into your face. And one of the things I love about it too is it's very simple. You get a picture, or now you can get a video or a GIF and a few words. That's it. So to me, it clarifies and it makes things so much easier than my complicated PowerPoints that you're seeing. Like, I have way too many animations. But this, just like now I am presenting in this box, right? And I'm not sharing my screen or sharing my PowerPoint. This is all in your one video rather than having to share your screen in addition to your one video. Now, Zoom has some of this capabilities, but it's not very good yet. So when you use the Prezi tool, it is really good. It does have a free version. They do limit it. And I ended up doing the 200 and some odd dollars a year because I really like to use them for promos and things. A couple of other videos I wanted to show you. Now, before I get there, where are my Android, where are my Apple people? Raise your hand. Oh, Steve's very proud Apple person. And where are my Android people? Oh, Sarah and Tracy, Trude and Lydia. Uh-oh. Where are my BlackBerry people? Just asking because I can't help you people. But my Apple people, this is your tool. And Android people, don't hate the delivery person. But this is so cool that if you have someone in your office, even if you're an Android person, if you have someone in your office who has the Apple app iMovie, who has Apple, if they have Apple, they have iMovie, you can use iMovie to make things like this. And I love this. Watch. This movie plays out every single day at my house. My cats are copy and paste. And I was watching faces. Steve, I think you're a dog person. I'm just saying, I lost you for a minute there. And I'm like, he doesn't like the cats. I saw it. But iMovie makes these templates and I love it because in a matter of minutes, you can choose a template and it tells you exactly what to do, right? It says, this one is for 2 actors and get a close-up of actor 1, get an action shot of actor 2. The fat one, that her yawning was the action shot. I'm just saying. But it tells you exactly what to do. You just change out the words. It does the music. It does the special effects. It does the pieces. And you do that. Now, why would you use this? Because you need to get people's interest. Because pictures of houses are boring. Because updates about market prices, yes, some people like them, but for the most part, people scroll past them. So if you can do things like this to gather interest, even for an open house that's coming up, something more interesting can be fun. And one of the reasons I love working with real estate professionals is that y'all are community people. I used to run marathons with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and on every team we had a dozen realtors, right? Y'all are in the community. Real estate professionals are in the community. They want to help. They want to be seen. They want to work with people. So all of your volunteer activities, these are great ways to do a wrap up of an event you just did. Again, using B-roll and little pieces, reusing, recycling, and getting that information back out in the community, stuff you've already done. This is fantastic for all these different tools, for all these different options. All right, let's see what else I got for you. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose you all because you're all going to go play with this. This tool is called Lumen 5. Now, I haven't used it in a little while, and it's always updating. So it may be weird. Everybody willing to go with me on this? Yep. All right, cool. Does anybody have a blog? Holly says, am I an Apple or Android user? And what do you use most for your apps on most? I didn't read that right. But am I an Android or Apple? I have both. Plus I have Windows things. I keep them all. I go to Apple all the time, and it's because the infrastructure of my Mac, my iPad, my phone, they all work together so well, and your Android can. So if you're in one infrastructure, you have benefits than if you're trying to mix and match. So I really like that. Does anybody keep a blog? All right, Steve, I am going to, please unmute yourself, Steve, and I'm going to bring you up. Steve's like, no. All right, Steve, here you are. So we're going to go to this site. Steve, tell me what your site is. Your blog.
Soldonshawnee.com.
Say that one more time.
Soldonshawnee.com.
That look right?
Where are you? I can't see that.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's you.
Yep.
Right. So you've got market info. You've got some beautiful houses. You've got some great colors here. I'm looking for, do you have any articles on your site? Let's see. Oh, steps to selling your home. Let's look at that. Let's see. Hire a realtor, a pre-market, time for showings. Look at all those steps. Let's see. How about you?
Oh,
I'm going to come here and I am going to go, I'm just going to do, we'll see what happens. I'm going to do this. It's got a lot of things, so it's going to be picky, but what I'm about to use is going to take this information and help me automatically and easily create a video. So Steve, let me bump this up a little bit here. Steve, do any of these look good to you? We've got listicles, we've got news, we've got how to, any colors?
food at your front door.
Food at your front door. Nice colors. All right, I'm going to click on that. And then, there we go. I am going to, you get to do square or you get to do horizontal. Those are the two easiest to show.
Square.
All right, I'll do square. Now, what it's doing is getting ready with the template, and then it's going to ask me for the input. And I'm going to input, you can either copy and paste text, or you can just put the page and it'll find stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of information on that page, so I'm not really sure if it's going to work really well, but let's fake it. We'll see. Here we go. It's building the video. It's getting it started. And then it's going to give us a place to ask for the info if it works. We could just kind of sit here and play with the pets for a few minutes. Steve likes dogs.
I like cats too. Did you not see my cat?
Okay. All right.
Kevin was over here a minute ago.
Oh, awesome. This is taking a couple more seconds than I thought it should.
Steve, did you say your cat's name is Kevin?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I'm going to refresh the page because it does look a little bit stuck.
Hey, I've got a cutie patootie right here with me.
Oh my gosh.
See, let me see.
Kevin.
Is that Tracy?
Yes.
All right. Oh,
That's
look at the
Kevin.
face, Tracy.
See, I sit on the very, very edge of the chair, and he is like, you know, he has the whole chair. So,
Of course, you don't get anything else. Why would you get
No.
anything else?
a lot of back pain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he doesn't care.
No, not at all.
All right, we are close. I may come back to this and just show you some samples if it's not going to play with me the right way here. Let me come back to here and see. I will show you some samples. So these are some that I have done with, let's see, for other real estate professionals. And all we did was, let's see. All I did was go to the site. This one was for core values. This was not real estate professionals, but it was core values. I'm going to click on that. I'm still seeing it's getting stuck right there because hashtag technology, but y'all promised that if it didn't work, this is real time. So what it does is you paste, this is kind of small. You paste a URL to your blog or article. And then it analyzes that and puts things together. So this took about 5 minutes. We did it with another group. And when this was, see, it's stuck at that point. So I don't think it's going to work. We did it with another group and you can see that it's got all these pieces. You can add pieces. You can put it there. I'm sorry, Tracy, for your loss. That's a tough time. If you check, give Tracy some love. But in about 5 minutes, we were able to just paste this in there. It automatically chose some backgrounds. It automatically chose some text to highlight, and then it put it here. So I'm going to preview it and see what we had. So it's taking their core values. It chose some. It automatically chose videos and things behind there. Again, it's just stuck right there. So I'm not going to mess with it. And I can come in here. So Steve, well, it's a fail, Steve. We'll try it again next time. Everybody
Sorry.
clap for Steve for almost helping. No, it was all us. But let me show you. Let's say that we're doing exceptional service, but we don't like that video. We can just search. You can put your own stuff up here. And maybe this is the exceptional service you want, and you drag it and drop it, and now it's changed. And you can do with it what you want. I like to do funny ones. So like Friends. And you got to watch when it's like, oh, we can do Golden Girls. Copyright infringement is a thing. You're not going to get busted, but you should think about it every time. So to passionately deliver exceptional service and build relationships, and it's the Golden Girls. I like the funny ones. They get more play, but you can make these in a matter of minutes. Now this is called Lumen 5. I don't know why. It doesn't work today. I don't know why, but sincerely, you can make videos in a few minutes by doing that. All right. Again, if you have questions, I want to see them in the chat. I'm watching there. Put them in all caps so I can make sure I see them. We already determined that I'm an Apple person, so half of you already quit this presentation. Let's see. What else do I have here? I'm going to flip through to here because I've just shown you 5 different tools that you can use to make videos, 4 or 5 different tools that you can use to put together videos, but sometimes you don't have time to do that. And this tool is my ultimate favorite for making videos when I just want 1 or 2. It is, oh wait, let me show you this sample. I don't know what to do with it, but it only cost me $5. How about this one? I made it 5 years ago for about $5, and I use it every year, and so it's $1 a year. This is Fiverr. Now let me go back to here in my gallery. How many of y'all know Fiverr? Quite a few of you. actually a real estate professional told me about Fiverr, and to me it's fantastic. It's all of the tools I just showed you, the Majesto, the collages, the explainer videos, all of those Fiverr artists have the highest level of those. You just go and find them, right? You don't have to do these yourself. You can go find someone. For example, my sister, my nephew graduated from high school in the spring, and just this week he went to college. It was very tough on my sister. So she had a going away party and she did a collage with all of his pictures. Well, she used one of my tools and she loved it and she tried to do it, and it was taking her a long time because she was playing too much. So I said, go to Fiverr. And for $10, she gave him a whole stack of pictures, and he made these beautiful collage that she could use at the party without her having to do it. And she just outsourced that, got on with the 75 other things she needed to do, and made it easy. With explainer videos, you can expect it starts at $5, but you can expect to pay, $100 for a good explainer video. But you just tell them what you want. Let me show you over here. You just tell them and describe what you want, and they will go in and do it. Now, I know a lot of you use Canva, and I'm not, y'all use Canva? I'm watching your faces. Lydia doesn't. If you don't know Canva, and if you don't know Canva lately, you are missing out. You're talking, I don't want to say billions. That's not the word, but I use Canva Pro. It's by like 10 or 11 bucks a month. They just made it so you can have a team on there. You can have your templates, but it's animated social media in a couple of clicks. It is presentations that you can add video to. It is all kinds of marketing material, print products. You can now do video and video things in there. I can't tell you, and upgrading was the best thing I ever did, because now it used to be when you went to Canva, you had to pay $1 a picture, right? Now it's all included. So if I want really cool, like I did this one the other day, because I was playing around with free comic book day for my newsletter. And if I wanted to add, you've got Giphy in here, you've got videos in here, you've got ways to remove backgrounds in here. And I can search for, let's say, kids playing. I can search for kids playing. A lot of these are paid, like this one. Oh, this is not good. Oh, there you go. Oh, it is good. It's so cute, right? That is a professional piece of video that I can use for free. And I pay another group about $17 a month for tens of thousands of resources. And nowadays, half the time I come in here and get them instead, because it is tons of different elements. So you can do neighborhood. I'll do neighbors, maybe if you're doing something about neighbors, and you can do something with videos there, and you just click on it, it's in there, right? All included in that $10 or $11 a month, and all searchable and fast. So if you haven't used Canva lately, it's crazy. But with Fiverr, the last project I did, well, let me first show you like explainer videos. Explainer videos, look at this. Hundreds of them. Now, some of them start at 250 because they're really good artists and they're professional. And some of them are 45. This is explainer videos. They're a little bit more complicated, right? So some of them are more expensive. Here's $20, $30. And then if you wanted to do a collage, photo collage, starting, you can do a budget. You can do the $10 budget, apply, and you've got hundreds immediately of people who will do things within 24 hours or something, and fun videos for you and things like that. So I was going to tell you the last people I ordered were, well, let me show you how I approach Fiverr, because Fiverr is a little interesting. Now, these pictures I had, Bitmoji, you can't use commercially, right? So I look just like my Bitmoji, but I can't use it commercially. So I had these created, and these are little pictures of me, a skinnier me, because I'm the one who told her what I wanted. But I had these created and I use them all the time in my stuff because I happen to look better in cartoon format. I paid a couple of $100 for several dozen different poses because this particular artist does, if you have black and white, it's $5. It was color, $10. And if it had a prop, it was $15. So I ended up getting a whole bunch. Somebody said, Kimmy said, who created them? And who created them was somebody who got a job, moved out of their parents' garage, and they don't do it anymore. But here's how I go find people. So this was a really good one. I go in, this is what I did with the Canva thing I'm about to show you. I go in with one idea and one description, and I cut and paste it into 5 different artists. So, and I do their lowest level. So $5, $10, what have you. That's really my budget, maybe up to $20. And I post the same description with several people that I have used. You've got filters and things where you can say, you know, top seller and best reviewed. I paste the same one in there. And then when they come back, I can very quickly see, okay, which has the one I want, which are really crappy. Because sometimes when you pay $5, you get what you pay for. This was the winner. These, not so much. I'll let those soak in for a minute, huh? Number 3, I'm not sure they looked at the picture. Number 4 is kind of what I think I look like when I'm working out. But the rest of them are pretty bad and not good. So the ones I chose were, I think, more fun. And, you know, I spent $40, I think, to find someone to make all kinds of things, and then ended up spending a couple more $100 to get what I wanted. So very recently, I just redid my website, and I did it with a professional. This is the first time I've ever had somebody else do my website. Kind of made me nervous, but it rocks. YourNerdyBestFriend.com if you're interested. I just redid my website, and I want some upgraded things that look the same, because in Canva, my manager uses it, I use it, and we end up with very different looking graphics. So I hired someone on Fiverr, a couple of people on Fiverr to do, or I did 5 of them, I think, to do different templates that I could use. So they made templates and opened them up in Fiverr that I could use. So I can look here, and this person, some of them were good. Here's a mock-up. This person was really good. They looked at my site. They got the elements and the colors. They got the look and the feel. I really like these. And they made all these templates for me. For this one was a total of, I don't remember how much it was. Very cheap. Oh, $12.55 to get a whole bunch of different templates done that now I can use. And because I have Canva Pro, as soon as I use them, I can resize them very quickly, and it reconfigures everything on there. In the regular Canva that's free, you can't resize them. And that is something that is very helpful besides all the graphic tools. So I had 4 people give me templates. Now, one of them was just horrifying. He did it within a very few minutes, and it was just really, it was dumb. I can't remember if it's this guy, but it's no big deal. I don't need to, oh yeah, look at those. Bleh, bleh, boring. Do they provide a Photoshop file too? Some of them do. Sometimes it's an upgrade. I wanted specifically, I wanted Canva templates so that we could go in once we have them. But this is a standard Canva template that I've seen, and they just put my colors on there. It's boring. I don't like it. And they didn't put a lot of effort in there, but several people put a lot of effort in there. And I could go back and say, hey, I loved your, yes, you can search for Canva specific template and create a template. And there are a whole bunch of people who do that. Now I can go back to the person I really liked and say, okay, this is great. Why don't you go ahead and make my new newsletter header, my Facebook header, and use this and make those templates for us, or we can do them. But I would go back to that artist I like. That's how I choose them. But I do all kinds of things with Fiverr. All right, I'm going to give you a few more. And the ones I'm giving you right now, I added this morning. I know I am a horrible person because I'm always adding, but frankly, things happen immediately and I need to show you. This is crazy. It's a biteable image resizer. All right, so let me come into here. I opened it up. This is free. Biteable is one of those that lets you make fun explainer type videos. I've used it for a long time. They're a little pricey. So, and I wasn't using it that often, so I don't use it anymore. But I'm going to upload an image on Biteable, and I happen to have taken a couple of pictures during our last speaker's updates. She doesn't know this. All right, so here I have a beautiful picture of Kate, and then I can, as soon as I put it up there, it dragged the focus point, right? So I want to make sure her face is in there. And then I can download 50 pictures that are for every single thing. Google Display, LinkedIn. You can scroll down here. It is resized everything automatically. And if I decide that her ear is the most important, it will crop to there. So if you have a picture, have you ever cropped something and like it crops out the point that's important? Right? So look at that. I could download them all in one click. All right. I also did, this site is called Designify, and I will need to, these are all today, like that I added them. So write down somewhere in your notes, Biteable Image Resizer, and write down Designify, because these are brand new. Designify does this. So I'm going to upload an image. Kate, are you on here? And Kate, do you hate me? Hello, Kate. Here we go, because I just grabbed the picture while she was doing it. So I'm opening up this picture that I took of Kate. It is removing the background, and in about 10 seconds, it creates more than 70 pictures with the background removed. Oh, Kimmy. Oh, Kimmy does that. Loves that. All of these. Now, I would not do this to her or anybody. No, that's weird. But that, like I'm on my way, I'm traveling or whatever, seconds, colors, backgrounds, designs. You come down here, you've got more of the, let's all do this one. Kate, I'm going to send you this to frame it for you. And I think you can change the overall size, or you could put it in there and get the sizing from that other tool. But look, I just put her on a smartphone. Y'all saw how long it took. That is one that just came out. Now this one it's still really weird. I just bought it. And by the way, these groups don't pay me to talk about them. I talk about them because I love them. But this is a way to do videos for individual people using a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet, right? You put all the information in a spreadsheet, personalization and things like that, and then you put it in there and it does 75 different tools for you. So they don't have right now, they don't have very good ones for real estate yet. I was looking here. And let's see, I'll show you the kind of background. Let's see. Yeah. Change what you want to come up with, where it comes from, calendar ideas. Like this one is schedule video via Zapier. That's a whole other session that I could do for you guys about workflows. Build your own video content, calendar for the month, new ideas for your content calendar for the month. But if you wanted to do things, I did find some for real estates, but like thank yous, you could actually have mail merged in there, their names. It says, just wanted to point out that Steve would like me back. Put that up. So you can put different quotes into there. You can add different video, and it's pulling it from a spreadsheet. Let me go to the spreadsheet here for this one. You're just personalizing things in a spreadsheet. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So you can change out the video, right? And have it be different things. So if you wanted to do, links to different neighborhoods, things like that, then you put the title you want and you put the note you want. So the title one can be their name and the note you want, and then more media, and then you can do different quotes, and then you can do branding, video shape, change all these things, and then you push a button. And when you push the button, it mail merges it to a whole group that you can use however many you need. Minutes, and make a whole bunch of video. It's still kind of weird. I'm still not 100% happy with it. A lot of these, by the way, I'll show you this. This is a little bonus. There is a site called AppSumo. AppSumo. And AppSumo has crazy tools, interesting tools, new tools that you can get for a lifetime for a certain amount of money, right? So I buy things, I probably spend a couple $100 a quarter, maybe $5, maybe. I don't like to think about how much I spend on these things, but you've got valuable long form content, and watching a webinar is not going to work. So this one extracts short video highlights from webinars and turns long form content into there. It gives you the description. It gives you how it works. It'll give you reviews that from other people have had, and it will let you do it in minutes. This one, I don't know this one. It's brand new, but I come to AppSumo and find a lot of these things. So like Lumen 5, I got it probably 2 years ago, and I got a lifetime thing. So I'm not paying monthly. There are several things out there, and this is another session. Remember, Steve, I'll come back, tell them. This is another session. It's all about artificial intelligence writing tools that write for you. I'm not exaggerating. You just put in some facts about a house and it'll make those descriptions you need. And because you've written 75,000 of them and now they all sound alike. You can check out the ones on here. This is where I get a lot of these tools to make it easier. And I just got WOXO from there. That was WOXO, make videos and social content. All right. I have just a few minutes left. I want to make sure that I am answering questions. Is there a house background? So which one Kimmy is writing, is there a house background? There's always a house background. And you can get all of the free videos from places like Pexels and a few of the other free databases that I have. And I'm looking up, I don't see any more questions. An Excel CRM, exactly, Ryan. You can export that. You can have those first names with the emails all together. You can make emails with, it's just kind of crazy because you can have their name on the piece and you just doing a message like, hey, you can even make it so that it's like showing up on a board or something like, hey, you know, don't do it like that because that was awkward, but you know what I mean. All right, a couple of other ones I really wanted to show you. This is called Unscreen. So on Canva and a number of places right now, you are able to, let me go to Canva real quick. Again, you are able to remove backgrounds, and I think it's in the free version. So I'm going to go to here to Instagram post. I'm going to go and put in a picture. Let's see, elements. Let's say friend, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put this picture in there, totally cute. And then that picture, I'm going to go to effects, and then right up here, it has background remover, and it uses artificial intelligence. So this is now in a whole bunch of different tools. It will automatically remove that background for you. Although I kind of like this one because it was that, wonderful park. But now you've got, in 16 seconds, you've got a background picture that you can put in different places. That's how easy it is. And so the first one to do this was this company. Let me see what it was called. I can't remember what the first name of the first one was. Remove video background, image removing, remove.bg. So you don't have to go to remove.bg anymore because you've got that capability in a lot of different tools now. Even in your Microsoft Word and your PowerPoints, it'll remove things. But this cousin to it is called Unscreen. And I'm going to upload a clip. Now, the funny thing is, I also did a little video of Kate. Again, this was while she was talking. I did a little video of her, and I'm going to click open. And so now it's going to upload that picture we had of Kate and remove her background for a video. Right? So in a matter of seconds, we have that. We could put this behind her. We shouldn't. Nobody should have this. We could put this behind her. We can put our own backgrounds back there. But you can also, so like when I do things like this, wait, watch.
Wow.
Right? That is me with my background removed and little GIFs like this. This is where I did it. Looks darn cool, doesn't it? And the basic thing is free. So what I like about this one too is you've got the option to process it a little bit better with Pro, and it does it by the minute. You can do longer ones. It makes it easier. But if we wanted to, we could do, like, we wanted a sincere advertisement with Kate talking very seriously to people about this and advertising that conversation that she had. We could put this little GIF of her on there and make it so that it just adds a little extra. Or when you're playing around and you want to do that, you can do it this way. All right, make your own little animated sticker. We're pretty much at the end. I do have a big finish, but I want to make sure all of your questions have been answered. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm dying to show you. There's a ton that I'm dying to show you, but that's about all we have time for. Any questions? I don't see any. It's pretty quiet in there. Oh, Lydia got another pet. Hi, kitten. Oh, I love the pets. Thank y'all for letting me come today. And are you ready for my big finish? Yeah. Okay. You're like, yeah, we're done with 1 hour webinars. We've had 75. All right. Ready?
Our nerdy time is through, but Betsy is always here for you. Your nerdy best friend.com.
Thank y'all so much. I will turn it over to anyone else and who wants to take over, and I will sit now in the background, but I appreciate your time today. And I do hope we get together in person someday, somehow, some way.
Oh, Beth, thank you so much. I think everyone really enjoyed that. We really did. It was just some great tips there. I was writing a lot of stuff down, and it's just, it looks so great and it looks so easy to do. Now I say it looks so easy. We might have to call you when we give it a go. But now I think you've got a couple of books for us we're giving away, right?
Oh, well,
or did Courtney have that? We have the books. I know Courtney's on here somewhere. So I think we have the books. We have a couple of books. Yeah, there's Courtney. So she can tell us more about it, but we do. We have giveaways.
We do. We have two of Beth's books to give away. I was hoping that Beth would have a fun way to do a little giveaway, kind of putting her on the spot here.
Sure. I make stuff up all the time. All right. Can it be a subjective one? All right. So in your office, yeah, I do have a raffle app, but we're going to do it differently. In your office, I am watching y'all. I want people to hold up to the video the funniest thing in your office, and I will choose who has the funniest thing in the office. I will give you 30 seconds. Go. Oh, we got some. Oh, what? Oh, I thought that was a goldfish. All right, we got, is that alcohol? That might win. All right, hold them all up because I can't see them all. Let's see. Lydia, I think it's Lydia. I think Lydia wins. I don't know exactly what are those? What you got? Yeah, you're muted, and we had to have someone who was muted.
There we go. I'm in my living room, not in my office, and they're Joy-Con controllers for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, there we go.
Animal Crossing.
Steve just disqualified you. But since I called on you.
Nobody said I had to be in the office.
There you go. Since I called on you, you win one, and I'm going to do one more. Let's see who else. Thanks to all those people. All right, we got rubber balls. We've got Steve. I don't know what yours is. You got to. Oh, Steve has hubby. You know what? I'm going to give it to Steve. Although Kimmy, that's disturbing. I don't know what it is, but I'm not sure that's allowed on public Zooms.
It's a pig. It's a little pig.
I'm going to go with that one. But Steve wants it so much. He's like bringing up everything in his office and putting it up there. He's got a Tiffany box in the background, which I think he's going to send to me as a bribe. Is that a Tiffany box in the background, Steve? Yes. All right. I'm going to let Steve win because he has literally like tried every single thing and he disqualified Lydia, although that wasn't very charitable. Steve, you're it.
Yay.
Yay. All right. Kimmy's bitter, but Steve wins.
I'll share Kimmy.
All right. Thank y'all again, Courtney. I will put it back to you again. Or Helen, or both.
I was going to say, Beth, can you remind everyone of the number to text for your handouts?
Text the word nerd to 66866. We have, let me make sure. I have a lot of sessions, so sometimes I want to make sure that I have the most recent one up there. Let's see. If you don't get the handouts this way, write to me. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Nerd to 66866. I've got pretty much everything I've ever done in there, and I will update. Again, I changed some of these today because all these things came out in the last week, some of them. So I'm going to update the PowerPoint that's in there, text the word nerd to 66866, and you will get the magic link and you will be on the newsletter because everybody wants a new newsletter, but you can fake it because I'm in therapy for rejection, whatever you want to do. All right. Any other questions?
We just want to thank you so much. And we know we're going to be having you back. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. It was so great to see you all.